Hi there everybody. Today we're just going to go over all the statistics of the through hike as far as like miles and everything and finances. So it's going to be kind of boring, but we'll get going. As you may know, it took 189 days. Throughout the time I was hiking, I brought a little notepad and I actually wrote down the mileage I hiked every day, what PCT mileage I camped at, as well as any extra miles I hiked that day as far as like fire closures or detours and side trails and things like that. It's quite a mess, so I typed it all into a spreadsheet on Google Drive. As you can see, there's quite a bit of them. I took pictures of everything in case I lose a notepad at some point. In fact, I don't even know where it is right now. So this is the layout of everything. On the top, I marked the date, then the day. The PCT miles was for how many PCT miles I hiked. Non-PCT is how many non-PCT miles I hiked. PCT mile is that mileage where I camped. And then total hiked is adding columns C and D together. And then I also brought a Fitbit, so I wrote down all the steps I took. So first day was 32,000 steps. Floors, the Fitbit also kept track of that. And then notes was just various notes I kept in the notepad. Along with this, I also kept track of if I slept in a tent, a motel, hostel, cowboy camped, a shelter, which, there aren't too many there, a trail angel, how many showers I took or when I took them, trail magic. I didn't count just random sodas. It was mostly just a meal of some type. Zero, Nero, laundry, and then the days I counted that I was at home. But the laundry number and the shower number kind of surprised me. But I added it all up and I actually put in a formula at the bottom. I scroll down here. And there it is. Totals 131 nights in a tent. That's a lot in that duplex. Motel 24, I did want to be by myself quite often just because I thought when I'm around people I get distracted and I don't edit the videos like I should and get nothing done with the zeros. So when I stay in a hotel, I lock myself in and get to work, and they usually had a little faster Wi-Fi. 15 nights at a hostel. A lot of it was at Lone Pine. Waiting for those storms to go by. Cowboy Camp 6, Shelter 1, Trail Angel 7. Took 49 showers. I did count all the showers I took while I was at home, as well as when I was staying on Trail Angels, so it kind of added up a lot. I sometimes wonder if I shouldn't have counted when I was at home, but I just bundled it all together. There's a Trail Magic, and I took 30 zeros, but I took 6 zeros for my trip home, and then everything else I took a lot of zeros, but most people probably don't take 30. 18 euros, usually around near resupply towns. Laundry 23 times I did laundry. It's more than I thought. And then home 4. So yeah, laundry was quite often. Usually when you get in a group you wind up doing laundry more often as well because somebody else wants to do it and you just throw it all together. So, but those are those numbers, and we'll go on to the next tabs, which will show you the overall numbers. Here's the overall tab. Total days was 189, and then you see the same sum. I used formulas to pull the numbers from the previous worksheet, and then the Neros, and so on. Total height 160. I just subtracted the other numbers from 189. But the interesting part is when it's frequency by day. So 6.3 hiking days per zero, which is I think all the consecutive zeros really added to that. Nero's 10, not bad. That number rounded off badly. Hostel 12. Every 12.6 days I stayed at hostel, mostly at Lone Pine and Bishop, because those holidays will get you. If you're expecting a package and you get stuck in a town, you're gonna be there longer than you thought. Hotels a little more often than most people. Tent 131. Cowboys camped every month, but most of it was in the desert, so I wouldn't say it's once a month. Shelter, wouldn't even count that. The shower part is interesting. 49 showers. Every 3.8, we'll just call it 3.9 days I took a shower, which is way more than I thought. But anytime you take a zero, you wind up taking showers more frequently, and it kind of skews that number off, because a lot of times I went 7-8 days without a shower. Laundry 8 days, it's not bad. Every 8 days wearing the same clothes every day for 8 days. Now steps, there were 7 million steps, which average 37,000 steps per day, which is more than I thought it would be. And I counted 189 days worth, so even with the zeros it added up quite a bit. Floors, 50,000 floors. Now the Fitbit counts it, I don't know how accurate it would be, but it counted 267 floors over 189 days. So I thought, I wonder what it is with the 160 days, which are actual days hiked. 316 floors per hiking day. I don't know if you know, but the Sears Tower, or Willis Tower now, has 110 floors. So this is equivalent to climbing the Sears Tower 3 times every day. It's insane, right? But that's what you go through. PCT miles hiked. Okay, so 259, 3.6. That's reasonable because all the fire closures. So you wind up losing 60 miles. But with the non-PCT miles, with the detours, because they added up quite a bit. And at Crater Lake, I had to go to the closure point, go back. Things like that. Those back parts added up as well. So it wound up being a hike 2754.7, and none of this counts time in town or walking to town from a trailhead, unless there was a trail going straight to it. So miles per day was 14.57. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, I finished 9 days after I thought I was going to finish, but to be expected. Now I charted all these miles per day. Now they're in a spreadsheet. You could just make a chart of it. And it's interesting is in the beginning you can tell I started slowly because I was afraid of injury. So the only thing that was going to take me off was injury or death, I guess. But anyway, started out really slowly, and you can see where I took the first zero at Idlewild. Then it slowly goes up, but before and after each zero there's usually a Nero maybe, just because of going into town. That one right there is at Hiker Heaven. We took 2 days off. Or we take 1 day off. But at 700, no, it's Big Bear. It's 700, that's Kennedy Meadows. And then the double gap there, or 3 gap, is Lone Pine, because we were waiting for storms to end. And this next one was at Bishop, because we were going to try to pick up a package on a Monday, but it was Memorial Day. And then once we hit the Sierra, no zeros until we got to 1030.7 Bridgeport. I think we took a zero there, and then the next zero was at South Lake Tahoe. But the interesting part is once we get into Oregon, I went crazy. 1651 to 1952.6, and then I went home for the wedding, and there's a huge gap there. But you could really tell how the mileage is going up. They're all usually in the high 20s, some in the low 20s. It's interesting. There's probably like towns in between that I visited or something. But, and then in Washington, I took a couple of days off waiting for the weather to die down. So then I also charted steps per day, and it's not as interesting. It's kind of like the miles per day, really. Started out kind of gradually, went down once we hit the Sierra. Everything kind of went down just because the elevation changed. Well, that and the snow made it much harder to walk the same amount of miles. But that eventually went higher as we got more and more fit, and then into Northern California. And it just spiked from there, and then slowly kind of went down as we entered into Washington. But floors per day, nothing interesting here really, except 600 floors a day. Ooh. All right, now here's the interesting part: finances. The total hiking costs came to $7,053.44, but that's largely because I stayed in hotels to edit videos and upload, and that came to $2,400. Most people probably wouldn't spend that much, maybe closer to $1,000 instead, maybe $1,500, and that'll reduce your total cost. And this is over 6 months and 9 days for me. So, but the surprising part here is the eating out. I spent $3,200 on food. Of that, a little less than half, at $1,452, was on eating out, which is crazy. But a lot of the restaurants are in smaller towns and the prices cost more. And when I eat by myself, I tend to generously tip because I don't drink, so the bills don't add up to as much as they should. I don't know, you just gotta watch how much you eat out because that can really add up quickly. Yeah, 46% of my spending was on food. Now, the surprising part that I don't remember seeing in other people's videos, but they probably did mention it and I didn't think anything of it, was mail. $207 to mail things home. None of this included my sister mailing stuff to me, but this was like with the beer canister and clothes, fishing pole, umbrella. It adds up quite a bit. For travel, it came to $280, and that was mostly Uber and paying donations for people that gave us rides. And the cost of train or cab rides when I went to Portland to go home. Now the socks, if you have Darn Toughs, this would have been much cheaper, but I switched in Gingies later, and I did buy a pair of waterproof socks as well, and that cost about $40, I believe. So that came to quite a bit. And the gear, most of it was, believe it or not, shoes and insoles, because those green Superfeets are $40 if they're on sale, and my shoes were maybe $55. I was on my fifth pair of shoes and insoles, so adds up pretty quickly. Plus I did switch water filters twice, going to the Be Free and then the Sawyer Squeeze. And I also switched backpack, and I had to order a smaller waist pad for my ULA. I also ordered shoulder pads and a hip pad extras for my Z packs. I never really wound up using, but I included it in the total. But that came to $630 in gear. So unexpected gear, trekking pole tips, things like that. Some people spent more because they had to buy whole new trekking poles, but it could have been worse, I guess. So my grand total came to $7,053.44. None of this included back home expenses like car insurance and storage fee and stuff like that, which came to a couple $100 a month more. Yeah, about a couple $100 a month more. So daily expenses came to $37.32, but that's what it came to. Now, if you're smarter than me, you could probably cut down on the housing a lot more. I want it to be more independent, so you probably never saw me posting on Facebook asking for a place to stay from Trail Angels. You see that a lot, and a lot of people do it, which is fine. There's plenty of Trail Angels. I'm more than happy to help, but again, it also has to do with wanting to be by myself so I can get the work done, because anytime I was with people, I always chatted and I didn't get much work done at all. It was not good. So if you're not vlogging, you probably save some money. If you are vlogging, maybe you have better discipline than me, so when there's people around, you can actually work, but I had a hard time. If you've gone this long, I'd like to thank all of my subscribers and viewers for all the information and kind words. I still feel pretty awkward when I talk to a microphone or a camera, but I'm shocked that so many have enjoyed my videos. I still have quite a few post-PCT videos to make, so they'll be on their way. And in a couple of weeks, I should be hitting the road again, so I'll have plenty more videos to come. I hope you all stick around for the ride and see what I'll be up to next. All right? Take care.